I want to see more gameplay from Dragon's Dogma. Obviously.
Yeah, I want to see. I want them to show more stuff that's unique to Dragon's Dogma 2 because, like I said, it looks so similar to the first one, and I think that's mostly because they want Dragon's Dogma 2 to be the big hit that they expected Dragon's Dogma 1 to be, but wasn't. And I think this time they are expecting Dragon's Dogma 2 to be the hit that they wanted DD1 to be. And so they feel as if they don't need to. Yeah, Pragmata's back. So I think they feel as if they don't need to change it that much because they know they already have something good. Please show gameplay this time because that first trailer was so non-telling. Is it just babysitting simulator?
I think it is. I think it's like a Last of Us kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was... They posted a picture of her holding that when they announced that they were delaying the game a ton. That mech looked kind of like something from Lost Planet. It makes sense. It's Capcom. Okay, so there was, I guess, a tiny bit of gameplay. Yeah. So we're playing as some... non-homoluden guy. Oh, they're still postponing it. Okay. Just stop saying anything. You never announced a release date. Sorry, guys. We're so sorry. We have to postpone it again. You could have just not mentioned it.
Like, who are you? It's been 8 years since
yeah, you could have just not mentioned Pragmata. We did see a little bit of gameplay, though. I want to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
So,
hello.
The playable character is... a spacesuit guy that looks like Homo Ludens from Kojima's productions. And the girl's on your back, maybe modifying your moveset because she has psychic powers or whatever.
In that first trailer, she had like magic,
I get the sense she's some kind of Esper that they were experimenting on, and this guy's breaking her out. That's the kind of relationship I get.
It's some space thing.
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, I really regret not being able to get Ghost Trick on DS when it came out, because I remember reading about it in Nintendo Power before it came out, and I was really intrigued. Oh, a demo. But I want to get it physically, and it's not releasing physically in the West.
I like this guy's fit.
This guy created Ace Attorney.
I can tell, he looks like a character.
He will meet and change the lives of all sorts of people in all sorts of situations. This may seem unrelated at first, but each person plays a vital role.
His English isn't bad.
No, I like his whole demeanor.
So think of the demo as a doorway, inviting you into a great big mystery. It's been 30 years since we made the original game. And just like Cecil, I met many new people, and there were many miracles that occurred during its development.
I'm curious to see how they manage the two screens on a console. If it's similar to how they did Mega Man Zero.
I'm so grateful to all of you. I'm thrilled that through this rebirth, Ghost Trick will be available to so many more people.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to import the PlayAsia version, but then it's more expensive if I do that. So I'm kind of torn.
One more thing. I practiced very, very hard for 2 weeks for this appearance. So, should be me someday. It will make me very happy. If it would speak.
He's like, guys, I had to really practice this English, so next time you're speaking my language. I feel as if this game is very hard to market. I think that was true when it first came out, and I think that's still true.
From the creator of the Ace Attorney series, Shu Takumi, this classic mystery game is being reborn. One night, a man named Cecil loses both his memory and his life. Using the powers of the dead, he tries to solve the mystery of his own death.
They put their own subtitles
Red-headed detective
on top of the text. I should have turned the YouTube auto-generated subtitles on as well.
Yeah,
Get 3 layers. Yeah. This character is the character I was referring to when I was playing Hi-Fi Rush. I was saying that one character looked like the Ghost Trick character.
And what does it mean that I was given these powers of the dead? Use the powers
He's taking this very well. He's coping with his death very well.
Controls are easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have powers of the dead?
Objects to possess them. Possess the tire.
I don't think this game sold particularly well when it came out. So I'm glad that they're giving it another chance. Just like how I am glad they are still making new IPs, such as Path of the Goddess, Exoprimal, right?
Possessing and tricking objects will let you access new areas. Sissel can go back 4 minutes before someone's death. What happened before her murder? Those clues are hidden in the past. Follow past events in real time.
I think this is their hardest attempt to market this game and explain how it works.
Yeah. They're not, yeah.
Change their fates.
Hard.
I think it's just automatically going to appeal to Ace Attorney fans, and other people aren't going to really give it much of a chance.
And that story must be linked in some way to the mystery of Sissel's death.
Dude, I just saw Phoenix Wright.
Ghost Trick, launching on June
Is he in the game?
2023.
Probably a little back. I don't know,
Demo
a little
version
background character.
available now. Don't miss the pre-order bonuses. See
BGM.
the website for details.
For a second, I thought that was a real record. They give you a vinyl for a pre-order bonus. Speaking of vinyls, there was a Warhammer Mechanicus vinyl announced. I definitely want to get that. World premiere? Oh, they didn't say anything this time. No way, Capcom is making it. It's a Capcom game. New Ace Attorney? I think so. I think this is a new one.
Yeah.
Wow, I really wasn't expecting them to announce anything today. Maybe they're just porting them, right? Yeah, because they haven't ported the Apollo Justice things yet, have they? Those are kind of hard to get.
I have no idea.
It's casual Phoenix Wright. I love this track. This is probably my favorite Turnabout theme, even though I haven't played Dual Destinies. This was a mobile game, I think. I might be wrong. Chat can correct me, or YouTube comments can correct me. I think they're porting all of the games that were kind of hard to access, because the only games that were really readily available were the first 3, the Ace Attorney Trilogy. Yeah. And now, you know, somewhat recently, the Ace Attorney Chronicles, the one that's in Meiji era.
Upkeep, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's good.
Yeah.
Do a little upkeep to their games. You know.
Yeah. Keep it accessible so you don't just have to pirate everything. Yeah, it's an Apollo Justice trilogy. Nice. Okay.
In Ace Attorney, players serve as lawyers.
Glad to see Apollo Justice getting some love here, because in a lot of the leaks for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Apollo Justice was supposed to be a playable character in that game, and he probably would have played a lot like Phoenix Wright, obviously, right? But imagine if Marvel Infinite actually was popular and successful, and Apollo Justice got added. Apollo Justice would have, for a while, been the mascot for Ace Attorney, because he would have been the representative from that franchise in that fighting game, right? So it felt weird that he just stayed as... Oh, look, they keep on changing the font.
We've also added voice recordings for the new languages.
What were you going to say?
I don't know why they're advertising. They have different languages in the game, but maybe they didn't.
I think they wanted to show off that they literally changed the objection kanji.
Yeah.
Please look forward to more information about this collection
Oh,
in the future.
people saying voice included. Okay, I don't know.
Well, I need to go back and listen. Is that fully voiced? That would be crazy. For a visual novel game?
The game? No.
40th anniversary?
This month marks Capcom's 40th anniversary. As part of the celebration, we've opened a digital theme
Yeah, I saw this.
Capcom Town.
Hey, there's Super 8! And Devilot! Cyberbot's mentioned!
Artwork and other materials from various titles on display.
So this is a website, right?
That's whack.
You can even play a few of Capcom's beloved classics for free.
Wow, it's like a Flash game. You can play ROMs on a browser. Capcom keeping the Flash game community alive.
Participants will receive a special reward, so don't miss out.
I'll have to go do that afterwards.
We can't wait for everyone to enjoy these attractions.
Kind of reminds me of the Street Pass games.
Along with the many other fun experiences.
Hey, there's Blodia. I didn't notice Blodia by Super 8 there. There's a whole portion that was Cyberbots. Exoprimal. Yes. No. I was just immediately guessing that based on the UI. There it is.
There he is.
And to use the online features of Street Fighter 6. You can also use this account with other Capcom services and campaigns, such as a survey about today's Capcom.
Yeah, I'll take the survey after this.
We'll release more titles and services compatible with Capcom ID soon. Register now for Capcom ID. Now for the latest on ahead of next month's launch.
Let's go.
I doubt they're going to show more Ryu and Guile, right?
Hello, everyone. I'm Takamito.
I want them to make a Zangief Roadblock, because Roadblock does a lariat. He does a tornado lariat anyway. So that's a perfect character to make a Mecha Zangief skin. Make into a Mecha Zangief.
Hello? I heard activity on this frequency.
My name is Garrett Stiles.
I still haven't gotten used to how these characters look.
Basically, the IB's godfather. He was responsible for the entire Exosuit project.
Is the story mode?
Yeah, there's a story. Obviously.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah.
I'm a little confused based on the trailers, though, how you actually progress in the story.
Picked up back in 2040. Intact and hot off the presses. The access codes to override. You can shut it down. The whole thing.
I'm curious if they're reworking Barrage.
Heisel.
The fuel of the future.
All this time, Heisel is a side effect of time travel?
Yeah, I've been saying this.
Yeah, I theorized that same thing.
I wrote about this years ago.
At least we know why dinosaurs bleed blood. Lozol. Unrefined Lozol in the blood.
Like the oil, like fossil fuels, but time travel juice. What the heck?
So, people might be...
They need to show off the million freaking dinosaurs that chase you. That's
Yeah.
so-
They were talking up how many are actually in the main game. But a lot of people might have only...
Dude.
Yeah, I know. I keep on saying that's the coolest looking one, and it's not even playable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A lot of people might have been looking at that big purple T-Rex and thinking, whoa, is that a new game mode? Well, that actually was playable in the closed beta tests before the open beta test, but it wasn't available in the open beta test.
Well done. You fought desperately and survived. The perfect exosuit development project is nearing fruition.
I can't wait!
Activating massacre module, summoning Neo T-Rex swarm. This is all to make a better exosuit.
Well, maybe you can play that one.
Oh, yeah. These new one, yeah, that looks cool.
That one looks pretty Toku
Yeah.
compared to the other ones.
Presenting my most exciting combat project, the Savage Gauntlet.
New game mode?
New game mode.
I don't know. Man, they didn't really show much. I keep on thinking of Blockman from Mega Man 11 when I see that Roadblock skin. I don't think any of the pre-order bonuses or the season pass stuff for Exoprimal is going to be worth it. The only thing I'd really want to pay for Exoprimal is the Street Fighter crossover. And even then, I don't know if you can actually buy DLC for a game you're playing through Game Pass. And I don't know if I'd want to buy DLC for a game I don't actually own.
That was
Yeah.
a lot of new info. Before we dive in, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all
Was that a lot of new info?
who participated in the open beta test back
I used to show the story and a new game mode.
I mean, all we got from that is that they corroborated my theories about time travel juice that I wrote about. in a scholarly article years
Right,
ago.
of course, yeah. I submitted
Only
it to
portions of the Dino survival content were made
multiple
available for
sources.
the open beta test. Today, we'll be introducing more content included in the full.
I thought they were about to announce a new beta.
Let's take a look at what you can expect when Exoprimal launches on July 14th.
Hey, did you see
Let's start
on the Exoprimal channel the other day, one of their videos got in the triple digits in terms of views?
forced to participate in a
Yeah, oh,
never-ending
yeah.
series of war games.
Yeah, they're up to the triple digits now.
Through Dino Survival, the game's main mode.
Yeah, so a lot of this was actually shown
This map,
already in a Japanese only thing.
and the AI entity known as Leviathan.
And so
At times, players will also engage in
I've seen this already,
part of the main
but
story.
I forget that they haven't actually presented this in English yet.
Also change as the story progresses. You'll unlock new missions.
See, I think the story progresses almost
including
similar to a roguelike,
a multitude of dinosaurs to fight.
in that you basically do runs, and then
The game will also feature
after a certain amount of runs or doing a certain thing in a run, it'll proc a cutscene in between. I think that's how the story progresses.
used to enhance exosuits and modify active skills. These modules can be obtained by fulfilling certain conditions while you play the game. You can also personalize your appearance.
I also think it's hilarious that
such as exosuit skins.
you're able to upgrade all these different stats and stuff in the main game, which means that in the betas, we were literally playing with, I'm assuming we were playing with base stats, and the game was still that easy with base stats. But I wonder if they actually modified the difficulty and toned everything down to balance out the fact that we weren't having any of the upgrades. Which means maybe they'll make the dinosaurs more difficult in the main game because they know that you'll be able to get upgrades.
Into consideration as well.
Okay, let's hear what they're saying about the feedback.
Exoprimal. We plan to implement a mode where victory is determined by
This is what I was telling you about.
as quickly as possible.
I was telling you about one of the devs sharing
You talk about that, yeah.
an interview here.
Let's go over all the
Yeah, so I guess a lot of the people didn't like the PvP at the end, so there's a game mode with no PvP, direct PvP at all. It's just racing.
Meet Dr. Signs, the developer of the exosuits, and the head of Anchor Division, IBS's elite research group based on Bikitoa Island.
Bikitoa.
The Stratovator, a space elevator that extends from the Anchor Division research facility into orbit, will also be a playable map.
It's kind of cool.
Incredible battles will unfold while exofighters and dinosaurs clash atop this massive space.
Yeah, I'm glad each map is pretty different.
Players will even encounter
They need to advertise this by showing like the map being flooded by dinosaurs, like it is in the actual game. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't think this is selling people.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
don't
guys. It's
I don't think
extra fun.
you really need to explain things
taking them down.
No.
for a general
You show people,
audience.
like the sword guy chopping at like 200 dinosaurs a swing.
What are
That's
Leviathan's true intentions?
Kind of fun. That's fun, but
I think this game is kind of like, I think this game is similar to Chinese food, right? You eat it, you like it, but you get full really fast. But then you kind of want to go back a few hours later.
This variant
Yeah.
is equipped with a weapon that can burst fire or be used as a shotgun.
See, I've been saying I want this suit playable since they first showed it.
oh.
Exosuit variants, including
They need to show more dinosaurs. These people are not buying this, man. It's oh man.
The enemies just really need to be equally threatening because you have so many tools in your arsenal to just destroy them. I want them to show the Guile Zephyr because they showed Ryu Deadeye being played, but Guile just dropped in and that was it.
for the fastest
Yeah.
completion time.
I kind of like that there is a speedrun aspect to it though.
Yeah.
Savage Gauntlet will be
So even if the game's super easy, you can still be competitive and try to get the fastest time.
Be sure to tune in.
What are they saying?
And last but not least,
I can't go back.
I'll go back. I'll go back.
we're excited to announce that we'll be holding a
Second open beta test. This has to be the video game with the most beta tests ever, right? This has to be a record.
They said more info will be revealed at the Xbox Games Showcase Extended.
Okay, thanks.
website for data.
I didn't even know that was a thing. They're announcing a second open beta test June 16th in 4 days.
Try out this new content.
Brother.
I think this is purely a marketing thing.
Also receive a new reward for
To
participating.
show the Street Fighter thing, you get like 20 extra people playing the game.
We'll continue to make adjustments to Exoprimal.
I actually believe that this next beta test isn't really necessary for them. I think it's just to market the game more.
Yeah.
Thank you again for all the feedback.
This has to be a record for the most beta tests of any game ever.
Yeah, that's
That's all we
Because there were like 3 or 4 closed beta tests, and then an open beta test, and now another open beta test.
make a new character.
So the first reward was that gold medal.
Hey, let's go.
And they said that this time you'll get an even another award. But I'm wondering if it'll be another charm, because then you can't wear them both at the same time. I hope it's something that you can wear with the gold medal to fully stack it. Okay, let's see if they show anything new here.
My name is Hideaki Itsuno, and I'm the director of Dragon's Dogma 2. It's been over a year since we celebrated 10 years of Dragon's Dogma, and I can finally give you some more information about the new game. First, let's take a look at the trailer we revealed the other day.
Yeah, this one. Okay, while they're showing this, because we've seen it already, I actually want to share the artwork that they made to commemorate the 40th anniversary, which is right here. Don't know if I can really make it big enough for the stream here, but I can just include the link if you guys want to see it. But anyways, whoa. But anyways, I hope you can see well enough that it includes a bunch of the characters from the franchises. But what's crazy is that it includes Mega Man EXE and regular Mega Man and a Serve bot. So we have Mega Man representation from 3 different Mega Man franchises. We have Chun-Li, Ryu, and Luke almost, oh, and Cammy, pretty much front and center. So we have 4 Street Fighter characters. Obviously, you have a ton of Resident Evil characters. Morgan is taking up a big percentage of it. Obviously, a bunch of Monster Hunter stuff, just like with Resident Evil, right? That one's expected. Same with Ace Attorney. But you have Date Masamune back here for Sengoku Basara. And it's been a while since they've made a Sengoku Basara game, because the last one was on PS3, I think. At least in America, because the last Sengoku Basara game, they actually did not localize. And of course, I know a lot of people are completely bewildered by the fact that Capcom continues to consider Ghosts and Goblins a main franchise. And this,
He's talking about it, by the way.
Okay.
The director,
yeah.
Now, a decade
cover
later,
this up.
I'm proud to share a look at the highly anticipated
But
Dragon's Dogma 2.
I will fight for Ghosts and Goblins to stay on the spotlight here.
Will inherit from its predecessor.
Okay.
First, Dragon's Dogma 2 will be a single-player game, but with pawns at your side, it will feel like co-op. And second, gameplay will feature action role-playing mechanics.
Yeah, I want to hear what's different.
In the Dragon's Dogma series, you embark on your adventures with pawns, otherworldly beings controlled by AI. Alongside
Controlled by the AI from Exoprimal.
you can embark on your journey
He's running a
with
simulation.
that can be customized to your liking, as well as up to 2 additional support pawns.
That's literally the same exact pawn system. See, I think they have a lot of confidence.
Explain it, 'cause
Yeah.
it's been 10 years.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of confidence in their pawn system because it was kind of ahead of its time. And I think they feel as if we don't need to change it. We just need to sell it again, and this time people will buy it because maybe the audiences are more conditioned for that sort of thing.
Weightier when they're fighting those little goblins.
He was using the great sword.
Not
great-
when he's fighting the regular little goblins with the regular sword.
Dragon's
Oh, yeah.
Dogma 2 is built with the RE engine, resulting in a dense world woven with high graphical fidelity. You'll enjoy a world roughly 4 times the size of the original Dragon's Dogma, with more to experience.
That's pretty big.
than before. The characters and monsters that populate
I hope they don't go with quantity over quality.
AI.
But even 4 times the size of the original DD isn't that big compared to other open world games.
To a variety of vocations to choose from.
Yeah.
Your vocation will shape
Yeah, there's so much hit stop.
throughout the adventure. Will you take on enemies with swords? Magic? It's all up to
Swords? Magic?
you. We'll have much more to share in the future. But for now, I want to go over a few sections from the trailer that show what we've improved for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay.
This game is designed to enable players to take
Yeah, this part of the trailer really surprised me.
In addition
The fact
to
that
AI, Advanced technology
He broke the bridge, and then she rebuilt the bridge with the ice.
NPCs to life. What would happen if you destroyed that bridge, or if you pulled that monster's leg?
Or if you pulled that monster's finger.
Possibilities can you think of?
Oh.
Meet two characters pivotal to the story that also appear in the game's key art. Ulrika, a bow wielder with a deep connection to the Arisen, and Nadinia, a high priestess of the Beast Ring, which appear in the series for the first time. What destiny awaits? How will they affect your fate? The intricate relationships and situations you will encounter in the game are sure to keep you on your toes.
Look, it's a romance. You'd romance random people.
As well as new monsters.
I'm sure any kind of system that was in the first one is still going to be here.
Because that was always so funny when he was like, what if I kill this person?
Yeah.
Like the shopkeeper. It's like, what?
Please stay tuned for more information.
Yeah, they're really not showing any new footage. They just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for anyone wondering, I already posted a reaction and breakdown of this trailer on the channel, so I'm not going to go back and look at this. I do want to go back and look at Pragmata, though.
Dogma 2 will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Steam. And now, a quick look at the Capcom 40th anniversary sale.
Thought they were going to do another world premiere.
Kicking things off.
Yeah, Capcom stuff goes on sale a lot.
Such as Dragon's Dogma and the Ace Attorney series. Don't miss this opportunity to pick up a few of Capcom's most influential hits.
Ghost and Goblins Resurrection.
To celebrate, we're also offering a limited time bundle of some of Capcom's major titles on
Onimusha and Strider mentioned.
That wraps up today's Capcom Showcase.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. We're always working on.
Let me make sure there's not a one more thing, and then I'll go back to Pragmata.
As we are for Capcom's 40th anniversary. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Pragmata was after Ace Attorney. After Path of the Goddess. After Mega Man X Dive Offline.
Capcom Showcase post show. I'm Andy. I'm on the community team at Cap.
Challenging mechanics.
It's the first thing after X Dive Offline? No. Street Fighter. How far in was this? Okay, like 20 minus 27 minutes. It's right after Resident Evil 4 VR mode, but not the VR mode for the original Resident Evil 4. It's the VR mode for the remake of the original that also had a VR mode. Okay.
Now on to the next game in today's lineup.
Are you watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when they announced the postponing of this game, they posted a picture of her holding that paper with the frowny face. I'm really convinced that Sony just offered them a bunch of money to announce Pragmata in their PlayStation showcase, because this was either right before or right after the PS5 was releasing. And so I think they were just wanting to have more games to show that looked next to gen, right? And I think that's why they announced it so early. I'm thinking
it was only. I looked up the original thing. It's only 3 years ago. I thought it was like 5 or 8 or something. Yeah,
3 years ago is still kind of a while though, because you announce a game with a CG trailer and then nothing for 3 years. It's a little weird, right? I think that they would have waited closer to now to announce it if they were just left to their own devices. But I'm thinking Sony gave them a little bit of that money. That's why I'm thinking also companies like Sony and Microsoft might have given them some money to make the Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition next gen only, a next gen exclusive, because they wanted some kind of game to take advantage of the 120 FPS. Because it really felt as if they announced DMC5 Special Edition prematurely, because I was really expecting them to do some kind of Ladies Night DLC with Trish and Lady, because the story in DMC5 sets up for that so perfectly. It really seems as if they were wanting to make a DLC with Trish and Lady playable. But then they just randomly announced the DMC5 Special Edition that just has a Muso mode plus Virgil, and there's no kind of story integration for Virgil or anything. It's just you play as Virgil plus Muso mode. It's a ton of enemies on screen taking advantage of a next-gen console with a bunch of frame rate, right? So I'm thinking that's what happened with both that and Pragmata as well. But because they're actually showing gameplay here, I'm thinking that this would have been around when they wanted to announce it.
I see the original trailer in case you want to like do like a little
okay, yeah, thanks.
See what's different, but
I'm trying to remember what that helmet reminds me of in the opening shot.
Yeah.
Because it really does look similar to Kojima's mascot, right? They're called Homo Ludens,
honestly,
right?
Yeah, look, I re-looked at the announcement trailer, the CG one. It seems very like Kojima-esque. Of like,
yeah,
kind of like it just shows you a whole bunch of crap, and then you're like, you're gonna figure all that stuff when you play it. But right now, it looks so weird.
Right, and they announced the Pragmata trailer, the first one, pretty much right around when Death Stranding came out, right?
Yeah.
So everyone was already thinking of Death Stranding, and then it shows these things just materializing in the air, like the bugs that just crawl around in the air in Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Just a big, intriguing hook with no explanation.
And I'm not saying like this is it, but like even the very meta thing of like the girl riding like 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like mentioning the audience seems like a very sort of
fourth wall breaky
thing. Yeah, but
see, this looks
and the music sounds a little bit synthy like that.
This looks as if it's some kind of fighting game training room, a training stage, basically just a big social isolation chamber, which is sort of a trope when it comes to Esper kids being in some kind of facility, some big white room that's built to kind of contain their powers. So I think this is just Capcom's take on the whole babysitting simulator trend of games that we've been getting a lot of. And what does it say on here? I don't remember if the original post had the 2022 crossed out with the arrow pointing to 2023, or if it was also scratched out on 2023 with the mystery. I do remember the frowny face, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of environment are we in? I'm getting the sense that the majority of this game is going to take place in artificial environments, indoors, rather than outside. Even though in the original trailer they were outside on a street, but it was a simulation? Question mark?
I sent you the thing. It's like they're chilling on a street and like where the moon would be breaks, and they all get like sucked out and they go on the moon. They're looking at Earth,
so I'm thinking it might be similar to the environment in Portal, and that it's just man-made structures everywhere, and you don't really know where you are. It could be on a space station. It could be underground.
Yeah, like moon, low grav segments, or something like that. You know, I can see that.
I'm because the main character seems so military as well. I'm thinking if this is just straight up a new type lab situation from Gundam, right? There are plenty of plots, plenty of subplots and plot lines in the Gundam franchise in which you have these new type kids being experimented on, and then someone tries to break them out, or they try to at least. And so I could see them definitely putting this on some kind of space station, and they were trying to turn her into a weapon or something.
Yeah.
So we see a little bit of the combat here in this hallway, but barely anything. It's this is probably the smallest amount of gameplay I've ever seen in a trailer that shows gameplay, because he's not actually attacking here. He is just, he's blocking on one shot, and then the next shot he's dodging, I think. Let's see again.
Yeah. There's a little robot with him. See that?
Yeah, I saw that. It was kind of actually reminding me, of all things, of the one from Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
The one that they said they designed after a rover, after studying data from NASA, but then decided to give it longer limbs to make it feel more human.
Yeah, he's literally just getting hit in both these frames.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks as if it's a block because you see some sparks fly.
Yeah.
And he gets back on his feet. He stabilizes himself again. So that came across to me as if he blocked the attack. This doesn't come across as a crazy action game like Devil May Cry because he's only in a room with 2 other enemies. And they seem sort of slow and clumsy because they are androids.
Yeah.
I'm getting a sense this is going to be a little bit of action, but some puzzle platforming, maybe. That doesn't sound like a Capcom game, though. But I'm trying to think how you would turn the Esper powers that we're still just assuming her to have into a gameplay mechanic. And maybe it's because so much of these environments are reminding me of Portal that I'm assuming it's some kind of puzzle platformer. But I just don't know why Capcom would make an entirely new IP with a new theme if they just wanted to make yet another action game. You know? And so there's the block, and then there's some kind of dodge. I think that might be some kind of psycho dodge, right? Because he's glowing blue here. That might be one of the Esper abilities. Yeah. Like a Spidey sense dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Is that literally all the gameplay? Okay, no, he's running.
He's not had a weapon the whole time. Like even later, he's fighting like this boss that shoots rockets at him.
What's weird though? What's weird though is that in that cutscene he had a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this looks as if it's straight out of Lost Planet, which I like because I love the mech design in Lost Planet. Again, he's just doing some kind of dodge to avoid getting stepped on by this thing. Really weird direction, and again, he's just running. Man, they're really not wanting to show much here. Okay, so the shot in which he's running with a missile barrage behind him, it looks as if this is actually a boss fight with the mech that they showed more clearly in a previous shot. And on the monitor, again, I don't know if it's just artificial environments being showed on these screens, right? Because I get a sense that maybe this is some space station or it's deep underground. And so they have a lot of these monitors simulating a window to keep people from going stir crazy. But potentially, if this is a space station, that could be a window viewing Earth. See the shot I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a big dish behind him, and you can see the mech firing the missiles, and he's just running around, and then you see the Earth through either a window or on a monitor. I think the cinematic is activating some kind of ability, activating some kind of meter ability or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that did not show much at all. What's weird is that before the Pragmata logo shows up, why is it saying AV? Did it not show AV?
Well, I mean, it turns into the M, but yeah.
But it seems deliberate, right? Why would they show AV? What would AV stand for? Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe someone in the comments will have theories on what the AV stands for. Let me see it again just to make sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, it shows AV for just a little bit, but it's so short. Maybe it means nothing, but it seems deliberate when it literally makes its own letter.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that might just require some context of the game because they're being very cryptic with this game. And like you said, they're advertising it in a weird meta, fourth wall breaky way, very similar to a Kojima game.